And hello.
Hello.
This is Melissa.
And this is Kat.
And this is a podcast.
Yeah, it is.
We watch Disney movies that you know and love. And then we...
roast them.
We
discuss.
Walk you through them and tell you why they are excellent or not excellent.
Yeah.
And it's a good time.
I think so. I think it's a good time. I don't know about everyone else, but I at least enjoy it. That's all that matters, right?
Exactly.
No, actually, we need you guys to enjoy this. Or we're doing this for no reason.
Tragical.
So, we've been talking about something since basically our first episode.
Literally, yeah.
And 22 episodes in,
We're making it happen.
we finally have our Patreon up.
Woo woo!
Videos will be coming out monthly. We are going to do annual gift packs,
Yes, which are going to be really freaking great.
which are going to have fun stuff in them. What fun stuff, you ask? We have no idea. We'll figure it out.
Subscribe to our Patreon and
You'll find out.
You'll find out along with us.
So we're only asking, we're doing just one tier for now, $5 a month. Of course, if you feel you want to pay more, you are absolutely welcome to do more than $5 a month.
Feel free.
But we do have like real jobs, so this is our second job. It's hard to find time to do lots of stuff, but we are working on it.
We're trying to make this our real job. So.
Yes, we have the same days off now. So when we're not working, we're working on Tragical.
Correct.
So we don't have days off anymore.
Correct.
But we love doing this.
Yeah, we do.
And so if you subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/tragical, that would really help us out. And then we can just quit our jobs someday.
You guys can't see me, but I did a little shimmy.
I'm sure they could hear it.
When she said the website. Yeah, it's going to be really fun. We're really excited about the content we're going to create for it, honestly. So
you don't get to know until you sign up. So.
Yeah, we're not spilling the beans on that.
It's going to be great. We might do a teaser video on our
we should.
Instagram. I think so you can get a little taste. A little taste of what's going to be on Patreon.
See what you're paying for.
I like to say it like that.
Patreon.
Patreon.
I like it.
I watched too much Schitt's Creek and I just want to be
Moira Rose. That's fair. I think we all want to be... I mean, you got the wig.
Oh my God. A guest asked me if my hair was a wig.
I feel like that's a compliment. I
I
feel like she thinks it looks... Because you did just get it cut, so it is very straight, and it looks very nice.
I have a high-low bob.
It looks very cute.
I decided I look like Jack White from the White Stripes.
I love that. That's fair. And I'm not mad at that.
You know what I'm talking about? His high-low frizzy
You don't have to explain it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm going to post a side-by-side.
Please do. Perfect.
I am Jack White. Anyway, I've got nothing else.
Yeah, that was it. I just really wanted to bring up your wig, and I'm so glad I could segue it with Moira Rose. It was so perfect. You, walked right into that for me.
Alexa.
Oh, that was good.
Thank
Do you practice that?
Yeah, in the mirror every day. So, this time,
we're here to tell you why
George of the Jungle
is Tragical.
Oh my God.
When I tell you this movie, first of all, it moves very fast. It is very quick in its
It did
plot.
feel kind of like a fever dream.
It's so funny.
It is so freaking good.
There's I don't think a single part where I'm not at least smiling.
There's 90s, early 2000s humor that is unmatched.
Right.
And this is definitely... When did this movie come out? I'm going to look it up.
97.
Yeah, it's unrivaled because it's so stupid.
They don't make movies like this anymore, that's for sure.
No. And it opens up with the cartoon drawing of a plane flying over the jungles of Africa and a cartoon baby falls out of the plane?
Yeah, the plane crashes.
Oh, okay.
And all the other people, I guess, are looking for the baby.
That's sad as fuck.
I don't know how all those other people got off.
It's so upbeat and fun. It's like, ooh, George.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, plane full of people died.
No, they didn't die. They were looking for the baby.
What?
Or do you watch
How do they not
movies?
find the baby?
I don't know. He was flying
I guess
out of
I wasn't. I was
emergency
trying to
exit or something.
type my notes too quickly.
I feel like that was me half this movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so the plane crashes. There was smoky, like fog. And so a plane was flying over and it hit two mountains and the wings fell off.
I do remember that
So it crashed and all of them were fine except they couldn't find George. So they were
they all just
screaming.
left.
And he ironically was really actually named George, which I think is great.
Maybe the ape that adopts him, like, overheard
Them screaming for him.
screaming for George. But he kidnapped
Maybe.
him anyway. He was like, I want a baby.
Yeah, so then he just grows up in the jungle because they couldn't find him.
And literally, when they are showing him growing up, there's points where they're going, like, between his ages of him, like, growing up. And it says George of the Jungle in, like, highlighter font. And then it starts, like, flashing.
Yeah.
Freaking epilepsy warning, bro. Like,
I get migraines and it kind of gave me a headache.
oh my god.
It was a lot.
It was too much.
I had to look down. I had to look away from the screen. I genuinely did.
And then it kept happening.
It happens like 4 times.
God.
Yeah, that was kind of not great. I do like, however, in this movie, they use the word boo-boo a lot for, like, when you're hurt. They say it quite a bit. So all the people on the plane were boo-booed.
And the narrator has that, like, he talks like this in his narrator voice the whole movie.
The best part of this movie.
He really is. He's pretty funny.
Like, the best part. He's so good.
So yeah, 25 years later is where our story takes place.
There's a rich white woman with a camcorder in the middle of the jungle.
Yeah, a blonde white woman with a bunch of, what are they called?
Porters.
Mm-hmm. And a jungle guide. Okay, so my first impression of Ursula, which we find out is her name, her voice was so fucking annoying.
Her laugh is even worse.
But then by the end of the movie, I was so obsessed with Ursula. Like, I know I've seen this movie before. The first, like, 10 seconds, I was like, shut this bitch up. And then by the end of it, I was like, how do I become Ursula?
She kind of talks a little slow.
She talks like this.
And it's slow. Like, she very purposefully enunciates each word. And I'm like, oh, you're twitching. I'm like, finish your sentence.
I slowly, like, became obsessed with her by the end of the movie.
I think that's the point. I think you're supposed to low-key kind of, not hate her, but
no, I hated her. I was like, shut up.
Recognize that she is a rich white woman just wanting to go see monkeys in Africa.
I mean, I'm a poor white woman, and I would love to go see monkeys in Africa.
That's fair. Same.
So, yeah, Ursula, I put a fake rich white hoe. Let's be honest.
But then it gets better because then her really fake rich white fiance shows up.
Yeah, and his name is Lyle.
Vandergroot. They were like, let's figure out what name we can give this guy that is the most pretentious asshole name possible.
I don't know a single human named Lyle.
Thank God, no. I feel like that was a very, like, adult name in the 90s. Like, I guess, like, born in, like, the 60s, 70s, you know what I mean?
Lyle.
It's awful. It just sounds pretentious.
It's not good.
It's very, like, Ivy League.
Right.
I wear a cardigan wrapped around my cardigan.
He did wear a suit into the jungle. So
the whole time.
A white suit. Okay, it was like an off-white. It was like definitely like
cream.
Like an eggshell or like a cream Pantone color.
Different colors of white.
So he shows up unexpectedly, and Ursula does not really look happy to see him. And he has two trackers with him, and they're wearing leather, which is weird. It's not a flex.
No.
And he is on his, I guess that's a cell phone or whatever. And he wants to stay he's trying to make reservations at the Hyatt.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, let's get out of here.
He's like, I'm trying to go to a spa right now.
Yeah. And she's like, no, I want to see the monkeys. And she's like, I hear there's like a white ape. And they're all like, no, there's no white ape. And the two guys, the trackers, quote unquote, really want to see this white ape.
Yeah, because a white ape is rumored to be 7 feet tall, very muscular. He has like the strength of 6 lions or some shit.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to kill him. We all knew what they were up to.
They wanted to bring the white ape back for like money. They wanted to like pretty much sell
Vegas.
Or like a zoo or like something. You know what I'm saying? Like make some money off that dude.
For sure. They're going to see the apes, and it is Ursula and Lyle and the porters and the guide, whose name was, what was it? Kwame?
Kwame. Mm-hmm.
And Lyle called him Quame.
Quame.
Which is disrespectful.
Quame.
Because it was what? It was Kwame.
Kwame.
And he called him Quame.
I couldn't get over Quame. I've read it probably 8 times in here.
It's not good.
Calls him Quame again.
It was.
Yeah, so they,
it.
yeah, it's the worst. So they're walking through the jungle and they come across like one of those like huge rope bridges.
Yeah.
And it's over rapid falls and all this stuff. So they're going on the bridge and they're like, be careful, like, it's a really rickety bridge. And Lyle's like, I've been on worse than this, and starts shaking the bridge like an asshole. And one of the guides falls off.
Yeah.
And goes falling down into the ravine.
He's pretty mad about it.
But don't worry, he doesn't die. He just gets a couple
boo-boo.
boo-boos. Just some boo-boos.
He gets some boo-boos.
And he kind of low-key, high-key wants to kill Lyle at that point.
I think he should have.
I think he should have to. Also,
This would have been a better movie.
Prefacing, the 3 porters supposedly only speak Swahili.
Also, I just love the main porter, the one who falls off the bridge.
He's so funny.
I'm obsessed with him.
He's hilarious.
I want to marry him. He's beautiful too.
He literally is, like, he cracks me up more than anyone else in this movie.
Yeah, he's good.
It's a good time.
He is trying to make nice with the porters who clearly hate him now.
Correct.
And he gives them gifts from America, which are cigars.
What a fucking white man.
He's so white.
He's
We hate
literally
him.
the worst. I would quite literally beat this man up.
Yeah, for sure. And then he shows them a camera. Like, they've never seen a camera before. Like, they literally are jungle guides.
Right.
I'm sure people bring cameras all the time.
Yeah, he's like, oh, look at my fancy Polaroid. And then the main porter guy, they didn't really say their names. The main porter
They have names. Yeah.
talks about like a really fancy 35 millimeter camera that he like knows about, and they're all laughing at Lyle because he thinks his little Polaroid is fancy, but the porter over here knows about super expensive cameras.
Yeah, I'm sure he's seen some nice equipment,
Bro,
man.
right?
So then he kind of realizes that the porters are totally making fun of him in another language that he cannot understand. So
Good for them.
He gets super pissed off. I know, right? It'd be fun to know another language just so you could roast people right to their face.
It's like going to the nail salon.
Oh my god, it's for real. I know they're talking shit about me.
Which is great. I would
don't
too.
Even care. So Lyle is like, you know what? You want to see some fucking apes? Let's go see some apes. So he drags Ursula like into the jungle.
Like he's gonna know where to go.
Without the guides. Yeah, he doesn't know where he's going.
No.
And then a lion jumps out and attacks them.
Yeah.
Or is trying to attack them.
Yeah. And Lyle trips on a...
Well, he goes to get help, quote unquote,
Right.
but he runs away.
Right.
And then, yeah, he trips on a tree branch and face plants.
Knocks himself out.
So it's just Ursula and this lion, and he hungry.
Very. So, who comes in to save her?
George!
But one George of the jungle in his sexy-ass lion claw.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know what this movie really made me realize? Which was something that was already in my head, but, like, just really solidified it.
That I hate every guy I've ever dated because they don't look like Brendan Fraser.
I genuinely think Brendan Fraser is, like, my peak man. No, I'm serious. Like, you know how, like, obviously, like, there's, like, celebrities that you find, like, very attractive? I genuinely think Brendan Fraser is, like, my, like, number one. Like, I couldn't, like...
What?
I don't know.
You
like,
said this about Orlando Bloom, too.
No, but listen, I really think Brendan Fraser's above Orlando Bloom. That's what I'm saying. I think Brendan Fraser is above Orlando Bloom.
I love George of the Jungle. I love Brendan Fraser. I mean, he's so hot, but he's too like, I prefer a hairier man.
Yeah, you would.
He's a little too silky in this movie for me, but everything else is on par. But like real for real, like 9.9 out of 10. I could use some more hair, but it's fine.
I think he's perfect. Like even now, like even what he looks like now, he aged so well.
So beautiful.
Oh my God.
He's so funny too.
That's a man.
You know he's actually like in real life just like super fun too.
He has to be.
He has to be like,
to do a movie like George of the Jungle, I feel like you have to be. And the Mummy's got really funny points.
What if he's a huge dick and nobody likes
That's okay. Let him be a huge dick to me.
Oh man, he's like in real life not funny at all. He's only funny on screen.
I just want to look at him. I don't really care.
So anyway, he swings in to help Ursula, but he hits a tree because that's what he's good at.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's very clumsy. It's like his like main thing.
But he don't care.
No.
George's not here to impress.
If he looks like that, it don't matter. I like how you switched to his way of speaking.
He doesn't really use any proper English. No. But he fights the lion. And he's got great wrestling moves.
I like when he clotheslines the lion. He bounces off of a rubber tree and clotheslines the lion. And then says... Rubber tree, good for clothesline. Like, all right, fair.
He's so cute. Oh, I can't handle it. So then he, saves Ursula and he picks her up and they start swinging on the vines and he whacks Ursula's head into a tree.
Knocks her out. He's doing great.
So then he takes her back to his tree house. So Lyle is passed out on the floor, but he wakes up just in time to see George carrying Ursula off.
Correct.
And he assumes it's the white ape. And he basically fakes like a serious injury and starts ripping his clothes and
gets
putting red berries on his face and arms to make it look like he's bleeding.
Do what you gotta do.
And he runs back to the
camp?
He goes back to camp where the trackers and the guides are, and he's like, the white ape took Ursula, and he's like pretending to limp and shit, and we just fuck Lyle. And he's just talking about how he like fought the lion.
Yeah.
And that's a lie.
And he's just like gripping onto Ursula's scrunchie for dear life.
Yeah, he found her scrunchie. The most 90s statement.
Correct.
And then...
So they're back at the treehouse.
Yes, at the treehouse.
And Ursula is still knocked out. Mm-hmm. And so George is trying to like wipe her off, give her a cool cold compress and everything. And that's when we meet Ape the Ape.
Yes.
So he is a scholarly ape who speaks English.
I'm afraid.
You are.
Of
men.
Apes. I'm afraid of gorilla suits. If you want to freak me the fuck out, wear a gorilla suit. I don't like that shit.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't.
And there's some mascots that I'm also afraid of. Like,
I think you've already spoken about this on this.
So I don't like the monkeys in this movie. They freak me out. Because there's Ape, and then there's all of George's friends who, like, sleep outside.
The bongogram ones.
Yeah. And they play bongos outside of
And that's how they spread the news.
Yeah. I don't like them. They really freak me the fuck out.
I think it's great.
No, they're scary.
But so George keeps calling Ursula fella because he's never seen a female human before. And then Ape finally corrects George that she's not a fella when he's doing the cold compress on her and he sees her boobies. And he's like, I don't have those. It was pretty funny.
And it's funny when she's like, what are you wearing? And it's
butt flap.
Butt flap. George's butt flap.
It's not a loincloth.
It's so cute.
Yeah, it's his butt flap.
You gotta have a butt flap. You don't want your butt out there for the whole world to see.
You gotta flap it.
You gotta put that flap over it.
Oh no.
And she keeps passing out because she's freaked out. She probably also has a concussion because she just hit her head on a fucking tree.
Honestly.
So Ursula wakes up and stays awake this time.
Can we talk about how she wakes up? I know it's a movie, but she wakes up like perfect makeup. Her hair is perfect. She's wearing lipstick. And I'm like...
It's a movie, yeah.
It's so... Even in the jungle, it's so unrealistic, and it's all I focus on.
When we were watching it, you were like, she has her lipstick, and I was like, maybe it was in her pocket.
The only thing she carries with her is her lipstick and another scrunchie, because her hair was back up on a
extra scrunchie. And then she is saying how her fiance, and then she like looks at fucking naked Brendan Fraser, and she's like, I mean, my friend.
She doesn't want to be married to Lyle anymore.
Already over Lyle at this point.
I mean, you look between Lyle and his fake lips and Brendan Fraser, who is literal perfection. Where are you going?
If Brendan Fraser's the only option, I'm fine with that.
Perfect.
Like, no one else freaking matters. So yeah, she's already like totally in love, let's be real, with George, who wouldn't be. And then George is like, oh, you want to meet my dog? And Ursula's like, your dog?
Hell yeah, I like dogs.
He calls his dog Shep.
Who is an elephant?
Yeah. I wonder if all of these animals, like the lion and... I mean, the gorillas are fake.
Yeah.
But the gorillas were fake, right?
Yes. There were other monkeys, though. There's the little monkey.
All right.
Yeah.
So there's like a lion.
The way you just second-guessed yourself so hard. You were like, wait a minute.
They looked really good. That's some Hollywood magic right there. But yeah, there's an elephant, and there is like a toucan, and there's like monkeys, and there's the lion, and they're all real. So I wonder if these are Doc Antles. I wonder who.
It's 100 there's no way it's not him.
Oh my gosh. I literally listened to a whole podcast about how he is a cult leader.
He is. He's psycho.
Anyway.
With his 9 wives or however many he has.
I don't even know. I mean, if they're happy, I'm happy. I'm happy they're happy.
Are they?
I don't know. They work 16 hours a day. That doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
It's called brainwashing.
I'm just going to assume Doc Antle brought all of those animals onto the set of George of the Jungle. But yeah, so Shep comes over, and Shep is a elephant. Mm-hmm. So not a dog, but close.
And they play fetch.
They do play fetch.
With a giant tree trunk.
And then they go for a ride on Shep through the plains of Africa.
Well, they're looking for Lyle.
Sure they are.
And then... about 5 minutes in, Ursula doesn't give a fuck about Lyle because she's riding on the back of an elephant with a hot-ass man, naked man.
Her butt is literally all up on Brendan Fraser, and Brendan Fraser's naked.
Right.
Fuck Lyle.
Who?
Whomst?
Like,
nobody.
Let's be real.
He's nobody.
No. So then they take a break from, quote-unquote, searching for Lyle next to this, like, gorgeous waterfall. And Shep has a giant milk bone. And then the narrator is like, that's too much. Take it away. And then it just disappears, and Shep gets really sad.
Poor Shep.
It's really fun. The narrator is good.
The narrator's great. And then they go to hear the jungle gossip. Mm-hmm. So they go see Tuki Bird.
Tuki.
He is a toucan?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Tuki, toucan.
He's
I got this.
Fruit Loops bird, according to TikTok.
And Sam. So Tuki gives George all the gossip, and George knows all of the languages of all of the animals because he's king of the jungle.
Of course he does.
So apparently the news of the day is that there is a sad monkey. Like, what the fuck? Can we live in the jungle?
That's the worst thing happening, is that there's a sad little monkey.
That's the news of the day. There's a sad monkey.
So George is like, okay, well, I have to help this monkey. So
he has to.
They go and find this tiny little monkey who is being bullied by all the other little monkeys. I'm not the biggest fan of monkeys. I don't like them. They kind of freak me out.
That's so cute.
And he's pretty cute. I'll admit that.
So cute.
So the little monkeys say that he's the runt of the little monkeys. So he's the littlest monkey.
He's the littlest little monkey.
And so they don't want to play with him. And so George starts whispering in this little monkey's ear and is telling him to do something. And so the little monkey walks up to the other little monkeys and is trying to talk to them. They all turn their backs on him. And then a freaking lion shows up.
Very
scary. Wow, crazy. And the little baby monkey starts pounding on his chest and doing like the and it's honestly, like I said, I don't care for monkeys, and this shit was so cute.
Oh my god.
It's so cute. And
I
then
would die for that monkey.
Yeah, kind of. And so the lion gets scared and runs away. And all the other little monkeys are like, oh my God, you're so brave. You just saved us. Thank you. And then the lion is hiding in the bushes and winks at George, and George winks back.
It's so cute.
They set it up to where the littlest monkey would look like a badass bitch.
And all the other monkeys were so impressed because he's so scary.
Very impressed.
The scariest monkey. So it's the next day, and George wakes up, and he has like flowers in his hair, and he has like a floral necklace. And Ape is like, what you doing, bud? And he's like, George just feel like looking special today. Because he likes Ursula.
It's so cute. George just feeling a little special today.
And Ape was like, are you having stirrings of special feelings?
We can only guess what that means.
Right? And George is like, yes. And he's like, how do I make Ursula my mate?
George has never had a boner until yesterday.
He's trying to get that. It's mating season for the human.
Yikes.
So Ape is giving George lessons on how to make Ursula his mate.
It's not good.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, I mean, he's probably thinking about ape mating.
He tells him to blow up his cheeks and purse his lips and then show off his teeth and then throw leaves. So that's how I'm going to start trying to mate with
Maybe
people.
That's our problem.
We need to do that.
I'm going to start doing that.
We need to do Ape's mating ritual.
Perfect.
I think people will like it.
So then they go back to showing the group walking through the jungle. They're still searching for Ursula. And the porters are kind of over it. And they're threatening to quit. And then so Lyle is like, you know what? I'm really good at convincing people to do things for me. Because he's a rich white man. So he has this little book of Swahili sayings. And he starts trying to talk to him in Swahili. And he gets everything wrong, obviously, because he's a dumb white man trying to speak another language that he doesn't know.
Yeah.
And they all start laughing at him and making fun of him. Mm-hmm. And I think it's hilarious. Like, it's...
Lyle's just an idiot, and I hate him.
Yeah, he's kind of the worst.
So they decide to go their separate ways. But then the trackers and Lyle decide they're going to capture that white ape. They're still on the hunt. So they have to take Lyle with them, unfortunately. And George takes Ursula to another waterfall because they're just having a beautiful romantic rendezvous through the jungle.
Love that for them.
And they're sitting behind the waterfall, and George looks at Ursula, and Ursula looks at George, and he decides to start his mating ritual.
So uncomfy.
So he starts pursing his lips and blowing up his cheeks and showing his teeth. And then he starts throwing leaves at her.
Ursula gets concerned.
It's like, I'm going to step out for some air, even though they're literally outside. And that's the best excuse. I loved it.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna go.
I gotta get some air even though we're outside.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good. And then they go back to the treehouse. George is sad because his mating ritual didn't work. And they're just sitting on the treehouse talking. And she asks if George killed a crocodile because he has a crocodile tooth around his neck.
Right.
George is like, no. He had a sore tooth, so I pulled it out for him. And the crocodile gave him the tooth. Because it's good juju. Mm-hmm. And then Ursula has a ring on her finger, and she says, oh, this is my good juju. And she said, it's not worth anything. I got it out of a cereal box. And I thought that was so cute. It's also very just like
90s.
The most 90s. You can't put rings in cereal boxes anymore. No. God forbid.
No, it's a choking hazard.
Yeah, for sure.
So then she puts her cereal box ring on his necklace with the crocodile tooth.
So now he has double the good juju. And then this is the best part of the movie.
I was literally just about to say that. So George starts to get up and dance because the bongo drum monkeys
They're there and they're scary, but... Yes.
I was like, what now?
They scare me.
They start playing the bongos.
Just for fun.
So George starts dancing and he asks Ursula to dance. She's like, no, I don't dance. And he's like, there's no one around to judge you. Like, it's literally just George. And she's like,
it's just George.
All right. He's so cute. So she finally gets up and starts dancing. And watching Brendan Fraser dance like no one is watching is so fucking cute.
It's so cute.
He just gets so into it.
They're my favorites.
I love them. It's one of my favorite parts.
The song is kind of a bop too.
It is a bop.
I'm gonna add that to like one of my Spotify playlists. I have to find out what that song is. It's so good.
But yeah, it's probably one of my top 3 favorite scenes in that movie.
And then another great scene comes along.
This is my actual favorite.
The troop is still looking for Ursula, and Lyle trips, and his face lands into a pile of shit.
And then the porters say, this is the part where we all throw our heads back and laugh. And then they all throw their heads back and laugh. That is my favorite part of this movie. It's so funny because they all laugh so hard at him falling into poop.
As they should.
As they should, right. I mean, he absolutely deserves it.
And then they see George of the jungle, and they realize there's no white ape. He's just a man in a butt flap.
Correct.
And so basically Lyle makes a fool out of himself and tries to get Ursula to come with him, and she's kind of like, yeah, I'll come back with you, Lyle. Yeah, of course. She wants to
stay with her half-naked jungle man.
But yeah, she doesn't really want to. And then Lyle shoots George.
Well, because the 2 trackers are going to shoot Shep for his tusks, and then they hear Ape talk. So then they're going to trank Ape to take him back because he's a talking freaking gorilla. So obviously that's important to make money.
Right.
So it's just a lot of shit happening
George
at once.
Tries to run to make the trackers not shoot Shep, and then Lyle shoots George.
Correct.
With a gun.
Yes.
He shoots him with a gun. And so, of course, George gets the best medical attention in San Francisco because
Ursula flies him
out on her
private jet.
Yeah. And then the trackers, who are named Max and Thor, they get arrested and then deported. Mm-hmm. And then Lyle gets arrested, and then he just stays arrested because he shot somebody. Attempted murder.
The porters have to, like, pick him up out of a lineup. And it's so funny because it's all these, like, obviously, like, different
African men.
Yeah. And then there's fucking Lyle. And it's so funny. And then they're like, I think that was him. I never forget a face. And it's, like, so obviously because they're all black men and he's this lone white man in a suit
they're
in the middle of Africa.
So happy.
It's so funny.
So George gets out of the hospital in San Francisco, and Ursula takes him back to her apartment. And then her friend comes over and is like, let me see this jungle man. Her friend is the best.
Betsy is
cute
as
queen. Shit. We love her. I feel like she was like the best friend in every movie in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like if you saw her face, you'd recognize her, but you don't know her name. But she's like, let me see George. And
she sees
Ursula is like, oh, he's in the shower. And then Betsy's like, I don't think he is anymore. And he's just standing there in the living room, soaking wet, just naked, drenched.
What I'm going to give for that sight.
So Ursula promptly puts him in her room where he puts on her dress.
She covers him with a big book in the front. And she literally says, a big book, and then covers his cake with a fruit bowl.
And then she puts him in her room and is talking to Betsy, and then George is getting dressed, and he just puts on Ursula's floral, flowy dress, and he was like, oh, nice butt flap.
He looks good in dresses.
George
and then
got a new butt flap.
Has his hair like half up, half down, and some scrunchies.
Gorgeous.
You know what? I think, and I've talked about this before, how androgyny is totally my thing. Like, men in dresses.
It's great.
That shit is so hot. Brendan Fraser in a dress with his hair up into scrunchie.
Put on a dress, George.
Goodbye to my libido. I am goodbye. Done for. That's it for me.
He did look rather cute.
That is it for me.
So they take him out to go shopping, and he gets an Armani suit. And back in the jungle, George's friends are really sad because they miss him. And then back in San Francisco, George is at Ursula's apartment, and Ursula has to go to work. So George is watching TV and eating snacks, and he sees a coffee commercial, and it's like a romantic coffee commercial. So he's like, oh, if I drink coffee, it will make Ursula like me.
He doesn't know how to make coffee, so then he just pours the coffee grounds into his mouth.
And chews it.
And chews them.
Which is what I do every morning.
And then this is third favorite part of this movie for me. This is my top 3 parts. He runs around her apartment just yelling, Jabba, 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 jabba. It's so funny. Like, I don't know why as a kid, like, that part just really stuck in my head.
As a kid, I would say that 100 times over and over, probably.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
Yeah. Sorry, Kathy and Fred. The weatherman is like, it's so nice outside. Why are you inside? So he's like, I don't know. So he runs outside.
Joins an aerobics class he's drummer.
There's an aerobics class and there's like a drummer. And so he like starts drumming for this aerobics class.
It's so good.
And then Ursula at work walks in and there's a surprise engagement party for her at work for her and Lyle. So that's pretty awkward. Meanwhile, George sees the Bay Bridge and he's got to climb it.
Yeah.
It's like a really big bridge. Yeah. And he wants to explore.
He's going to climb all the way up to the top of that bridge.
And then there is a parachuter who gets caught in the Bay Bridge.
Yeah.
And there's a fire truck trying to help, but they suck. So George is like, should I help? And then he's like, of course, George will help. Right. So George goes over to save the parachuter, but it's on the news, obviously. Because they're trying to cut this parachuter off the Bay Bridge.
He's got like somehow a vine of sorts that he swings over to this man.
A magical vine just grows out of the Bay Bridge.
Obviously.
So it's on the news. Ursula sees it and she goes to George and
she manages to get herself onto a boat going out that way.
Yeah.
Ironically enough.
George.
He gets caught up in the parasail and it flies off and he hits the boat.
Ursula grabs him and hugs him and holds him tight. And George is like, oh, this coffee shit really works, man. And then they're hugging and the news is like, there's our hero. And it's like, oh, love story in the Bay. And then Ursula's mom sees it on the news. And she's like, who the fuck is this? Yikes. And then, meanwhile, back in the jungle, Thor and Max, the trackers, are kidnapping Ape.
Yes.
They take Ape because he's a talking ape.
They ape-nap Ape.
Yeah, and they're going to take him to Vegas. Ape tells Toogie Bird to go get help.
He says, go find George.
Right. Like, perfect. Seems legit.
On it.
So Toogie's like, cool, ready to fly to fucking San Francisco. Let's get it.
And then back in San Francisco, Ursula is talking to her parents. And she tells them that she doesn't want to marry Lyle. And she very quickly goes through the whole story of them in the jungle and everything that happened with Lyle. And Mom is not happy.
No, she's a stupid bitch.
Yeah, Dad kind of is just like, whatever you want to do. And Mom is like, no, you're going to marry a rich white man.
Her mom is basically like, we're having the engagement party tonight and you're marrying Lyle, even though he's not here. He's in, like, fucking prison in Africa, but it's
right. And so then they're like, wait, where is your jungle man? He's just missing. So they go looking for him.
They go outside of the house.
And
the cake is coming in.
Yeah, the engagement cake, which literally looks like a wedding cake. Awkward. And George finds a vine somewhere and swings right into the cake.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
And that's how he meets Mommy and Daddy.
Perfect timing.
He killed it. So that night is the engagement party. It looks really nice. I wish I was there. It looked like there was some nice like cheese plates and wine there.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have attended.
I would have too.
So Ursula goes outside and all her friends are staring at like the horse pin. Pin? Is that what it's called? I don't know what that's called. It's a pin, right? Like a fence that makes a square. I don't know what the fuck that's called, honestly. I'm ignorant. Horse pin.
It's not a pin.
Horse. It's not. I don't know what that's called. Just like a field? I don't.
I know the word for it. I can't think of it. Where's
I don't know.
The corral. Horse area.
The corral.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
And anyway, so all the ladies at this party that are Ursula's friends are staring out into the horse corral. So Ursula walks over and...
Who's out there?
It's because George is literally playing with the horse.
And he's got like his shirt... half on, but he's wearing like a Fabio,
like
a white,
yeah, like a flowy white top, and he's
half unbuttoned,
all unbuttoned.
Oh my! And his hair's down,
blowing in the wind. He's playing with the horse, and then Betsy's like, he's not very smart, but he has sensual intelligence.
Yeah, he do. Yeah,
I loved that. He has sensual intelligence.
So hot. He's so hot.
And then he goes, this is like one of my other favorite parts of the movie. He goes into the party and he's like filling up a lid to one of the dishes.
Yeah.
He's filling up a lid with food.
Fruit. It's just fruit.
And these two freaking annoying guys come over and they're talking about like, what firm do you work for? Or whatever, some dumb rich white man shit.
Banks. They all work at the bank.
Sure, Jan. Yeah. I don't know. And then George says something to him, so they start laughing. And then George mocks his laugh.
Like, perfectly. It's literally just a repeat of his laugh.
They just stare at him and he walks away, and that's...
It's so good.
Honestly,
he just mocks him so
I would do some shit like that.
It got me so good. It's
mock
so
someone's
funny.
laugh and then walk away.
Oh,
but yeah,
man.
and then Mommy is trying to tell George off. She tells him that George is a stripe and Ursula is a spot.
And stripes and spots don't mix.
And stripes and spots don't mix.
We love pattern mixing in this house.
Exactly. Like, no, George, don't listen to her. She's a bitch. So she's basically like, leave Ursula alone. And George is like, okay. And he gets sad. But
and then Tuki finds George.
Oh, thank God. Poor Tuki. That's far. Africa to San Francisco.
He's dead.
He's a strong bird.
So he tells George about Ape, and so George leaves immediately to go, and he leaves the croc tooth that is from his necklace for Ursula.
His good juju.
Yeah. So now he has her good juju, and she has his.
George ships himself to Africa in a crate.
Via UPS.
Yeah. And then he puts on some Nike running shoes.
Brand spanking new Nikes.
And runs through Africa.
Yeah.
To get to Ape. That was stupid.
This part is pretty funny to me because I'm like, okay, so it's taken him, a couple days to get from San Francisco and then to ship himself and then to run
something. Yeah, this would have been like a year. Like shipping something from San Francisco to
Africa in the late 90s.
If you tried to do like expedited shipping, it would be like bajillions of dollars. But I guess, I don't know, he put it on the credit card or something.
The black Amex.
I guess. I don't know.
But so freaking Max and Thor are still just wandering the jungle with Ape. Like, how long are you wandering the jungle?
It's literally been weeks at least.
Okay, perfect. And this man is still in his leather pants. I'm sure he smells wonderful.
Yeah. And then back in
ball cheese from
Ooh. So back in San Francisco, Ursula is complaining to her mom and dad. She's like, I'm not marrying Lyle. He's grody. No one likes him. His haircut is stupid. Okay, I may have improvised that a little bit. Mom is basically like, you sound like you love him. And then Ursula was like, I fucking do, bitch.
You can see the comprehension on her face.
I love that ape man. And dad is like, I do too. He's great. You should marry him.
I like dad.
Dad's the best.
Dad is the best. How did he marry that lady?
I don't know, but he puts up with her, so good for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so dad approves. Mom is pissed, but she's like kind of over it. I don't know. Fuck Lyle. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Thor and Max are really struggling. They have completely mislabeled the jungle. I don't know who did it. Probably
George and Ape. Yeah.
So it says there's shortcuts to places where there aren't actually shortcuts.
It just takes you around the mountain 6 times before leading you back to the tree
house. So they're back at the tree house, and
who else is at the tree house? George.
Yeah, George is there. He realizes, that he's wearing his butt flap and his Nikes a fit.
It's a look.
That's what I'm going to be for Halloween.
Damn it, you beat me to it. I was going to say that's what I'm going to wear.
I can't afford a Halloween costume. I'm going to re-wear 2 Halloween costumes I'm already worn.
So am I.
I'm going to do Cher from Clueless and Regina George.
I'm going to be Sailor Moon and Black Widow.
Why are we so poor? Support us on Patreon so
Please,
we can
buy
wear
Halloween costumes.
Halloween costumes that we actually bought this century. No, I'm kidding.
So they're at the treehouse, and Thor and Max start talking back to the narrator.
Yeah, they've had enough of the narrator.
It's pretty funny, and the narrator makes them rewind, and that really throws them off. And so then, while they're distracted with arguing with the narrator, George leaps out of the treehouse to attack them. Attacked. In past tense. Attack them. And he misses, of course, because he's George. And
he hits a tree. Just hits a tree every 3 minutes.
It's fine.
So Tuki gets shot by Shep into Thor's butt, which really freaked me out.
Yeah.
And George is fighting them. He's doing a pretty good job. He's holding his own. But it's 2 against 1, so it's not great.
Yeah.
Ursula shows up.
Yeah,
she has come back for George.
Yeah, she comes loves him on a vine.
And she says, George, I have to tell you something. And he's like, no offense, broad, but I'm a little busy here. And he's trying to fight Thor and Max so he can get Ape out of the cage. And George puts Thor and Max
in the cage. Yeah.
So that they are taken care of. He's like, okay, Ursula, tell me what you need to tell me. And then who shows up?
Fucking Lyle. Bruh.
And you know what Lyle has done? He has escaped from jail and joined a cult. Like a weird neo-Nazi cult.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And he has the cult men kidnap George and is going to force Ursula to marry him because he became a
ordained minister
in this cult, which I don't think you can marry yourself, but I guess it's fine.
You cannot.
So
plot twist.
The apes that are in the bongo circle, they attack the cult men and put them in the cage. And Lyle has already taken Ursula deep into a cave, and they've dropped down
into
like
a raft.
They've dropped down into a little lake thing, and there's a raft waiting there. This is such a plan. You know Lyle did not come up with it.
He literally says, too, told you we would have a boat. It's not a boat, my dude. It's a raft.
So they're in the raft. They're heading down a river. George is trying to figure out how to save Ursula. The apes are trying to help. They're not doing great. No. They're stupid.
No. Lyle is trying to marry himself to Ursula.
And Ursula is just like, I'm not going to say I do.
Right.
And he's like, yes, you are. And she's like, no, I'm not. So they're in this raft. They're about to hit some rapids. And George swings to save Ursula, but he hits a really big tree.
Yeah, of course. He's coming from very far away. And somehow, like, manages to go, 100 miles per hour on this freaking vine.
He rocket ships himself.
He literally teleports.
Into a tree.
Into a tree.
And knocks the tree down.
Yeah.
But then he is sitting on the tree, and he grabs Ursula before they go into the rapids. And when they come out of the rapids,
Lyle has just married himself to a gorilla.
Yeah, there's a gorilla in the raft with him, and that gorilla
starts making
out with Lyle.
Can you marry a monkey?
Lyle did. So yeah. And then George and Ursula are sitting on the tree trunk over the water.
Yes,
they profess their love for each other, and it's super cute.
It is really cute.
And then they have a beautiful jungle wedding.
So cute.
Everyone looks great. George has his ponytail.
If my husband doesn't get married with his hair up, half down,
and better tell that man to grow a nice ponytail.
My man will have a ponytail.
Shep is literally downing bottles of champagne. Shep is fucking faded, bro.
Shep is me at the wedding I went to this weekend. Fuck.
Cat died this weekend.
I did.
And they're dancing at the wedding. It's really cute. There's lions and apes and rich white people. And honestly, it looks like a pretty dope-ass wedding.
There's giraffes. I want giraffes in my wedding.
It's so cool.
The fuck?
And then fast forward to...
They have a baby.
I'm assuming just 9 months later. I'm sure there's not great contraception in the jungle.
Well, I mean, the baby was over a year old.
That's true. So this is probably... No, I mean, he was just learning to walk.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so this is a little over a year later. They have a little baby. They are standing on Pride Rock. That's right. You heard me.
So they're holding their child up on Pride Rock. As if it were Simba.
And it's literally just the Lion King, but they put George of the Jungle and Ursula and their
George
baby.
Jr.
Sure, George Jr.
No, it is.
Okay.
There's an unfortunate sequel to this movie.
And then the end of this movie, I don't know why they just don't end movies good anymore.
I know,
But it ends with Ape moves to Vegas.
And he has a show.
And it's so, classic Vegas with, the lights, and there's, dancers.
Which casino do you think it is? And, which casino?
Rio.
I was gonna say Rio! What the fuck? Chippendales? No, we have an ape named Ape.
We have Ape named Ape.
Who needs half-naked men and kiss mini golf when
One
you can
night
have
only.
Ape named Ape doing a whole floor show. I'm so glad both of us thought it was at the Rio because it is 110% at the Rio.
This movie is so
It's so good.
Fucking good.
Oh god, I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I'm so nervy.
Good.
Do you want me to, did you go first last time?
You can go.
So I'm giving George the Jungle. I know this is gonna be very shocking to everyone. a 10 out of 10.
Oh my gosh, Kat, what?
And I'm going to put it at number 9, so it's my last of the 10 out of 10s. I'd rather watch High School Musical than George of the Jungle, but I would rather watch George of the Jungle than Atlantis. So it's number 9.
Oh shit.
Is it your number 9?
No.
Oh, is it higher than that?
I love this movie so freaking. I literally watched this movie like 300 times as a child.
Yeah, we did.
I would put this movie in almost every day. I love this movie so much. I put it obviously a 10 out of 10.
Right.
This is an A1 movie. It's just so good. I put mine at number 3.
Oh my goodness.
So right now I'm Hunchback, Atlantis, George of the Jungle, Princess and the Frog. I love this more than Princess and the Frog. I'm sorry, Tiana. All right, you ready for your clues?
Yes, okay.
Okay, so I really wanted to do a really classic.
Okay.
So we're doing classic.
Okay.
We've done a movie related to this movie.
Okay.
This movie is all over the parks. I mean, all over the parks.
Peter Pan.
Yep.
What a good one!
Yeah,
We've done a movie related to it?
Tinkerbell, dumb bitch. You picked that shit. I had to watch that squirrel's face for you. I had to watch that bird. Trash movie with that fucking baby bird.
Try and rehatch itself. Oh my god, I love Peter Pan.
Yeah, Peter Pan.
What year did this one come out? Did you write?
Peter Pan, girl, I don't know, 57 or some shit. It's old. She old. Oh my god, Peter Pan's Flight has 2.5 stars on Google reviews.
It's the worst ride, but it has the longest line because you can fit
53.
People are like, oh my god, Disney World, Peter Pan's Flight.
And it always has a long line, so I think it just has like a myth of like, oh, this must be a really good one.
Have we ever done the one at Disneyland?
No. I didn't even know there was a, oh my god, why can't I think of his name?
Roger
the fucking
Rabbit?
bunny. Yes, Roger Rabbit ride. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, it's
And we have been to Disneyland like hundreds of times. I'm being dramatic, but I had no idea there was even a ride over there. Where's the fucking entrance?
It's in Toontown.
I feel so stupid. I had no...
Literally, you walk into Toontown, it's on the right.
Can we go... Okay, as soon as this mask shit is done...
Yes.
I would like to go to Disneyland so I can ride that ride.
Can we go for like a solid week somewhere? I feel like we rush. I feel like we only go for like 2 or 3 days.
I would like to just go for 10 minutes to ride that ride because I've never even known of its existence.
It's pretty good. You like spin and shit.
What the hell? Why have we never ridden it?
I don't know. We never go to Toontown.
I know. I wanted to go so bad last time too, and nobody wanted to go. And we were like, we kept getting stuck in like groups of people.
Yeah.
We need to go and not hang out with other people.
Sorry, everyone.
Yeah. Fuck you guys. Fuck our California friends. Okay, we'll just go in and ride that, and then we can hang out with our bros.
Perfect. Okay, sold.
Anyway, if you liked... We are so close to 100 ratings on Apple. So if you guys could go and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and give us 5 stars. You don't have to leave a review. You just have to do the 5 stars part. And then I really want to get to like 100 before the end of the year. That's my goal. I want to have at least 100 ratings.
But also, if you also want to tell us how much you love us, that would be...
Oh, yeah. Leave us a review.
Really nice.
I read them and I cry myself to sleep every night because you guys are so sweet and so nice. Oh, and Patreon. If you want to support us, it is $5 a month. Literally, you could set it, you put it on your credit card, you won't even notice it's gone.
Yeah.
If you guys are patrons and you want to ask us to do your movie, like a movie you want us to do, we will do it for you if you are a patron. So, and we will dedicate the episode to you. So that's it.
Follow all of our socials.
Yeah, we're on the Twitter and we're on the Instagram and
in my Moira.
Oh my god, I love her. And like us on Facebook. We have like 4 likes on Facebook now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're like...
Be our 5th like.
We're seriously like popping on the Facebook. I don't even get on Facebook. Share this with a friend. Word of mouth.
Peas and carrots.
Yes. Bye.
Okay, bye.
These opinions are our own and are in no way associated with the film or the film's production company.
The cover art for Tragical Podcast was created by Johnny the Alchemist on Instagram. Give him a like and a follow to see more of his insanely good artwork and to contact him for any of your artwork needs.
The Tragical Podcast intro music was produced by Jahreezy. Contact information can be found on his Instagram at Jahreezy. Jahreezy.